CBD drink. I highly recommend them. Alright, well, welcome back to Wolfgang Music and Video Solo Movie Review Edition. So today I'm actually going to be talking about one of my personal all-time favorites, and it's definitely, without a doubt, a hidden gem. I mean, I never hear anybody talking about this movie, very much like when I, did Detroit Rock City. Anyways, Breakdown was released on May 2nd, 1997, and it was directed by Jonathan Mostow. One of his other films that he did that, a lot of people might be more familiar with is Terminator 3, Rise of the Machines, which a lot of people say it's, one of the, more god-awful Terminator movies, but I don't know, to me, I think it's one of my, personal favorites, besides Part 2, of course. That's the best one, in my opinion. But anyways, aside from that, so Breakdown stars, the legendary Kurt Russell as Jeff Taylor, and his wife, Amy Taylor, who played by Kathleen Quinlan. So basically, there's not a lot of backstory with this movie, which I kind of like that. It's a very straightforward, non-convoluted story where basically this married couple are moving from Boston all the way to San Diego because apparently they're switching jobs. And so basically what happens is their Jeep breaks down, but what they don't know is that there's a whole scam going on between these 4 or 5 other guys. There's J.T Walsh, who plays Red Bar, and this was his final on-screen appearance. So it's him, and then a guy named Billy, played by Jack Noseworthy, and then Earl, who's played by MC Gainey, and then I'm not sure who the other guy is, but I mean, really, who gives a shit about him anyway? I don't even think he had much of a career to begin with. But so this team, these guys, they all work together, and they just try to find people way out in the middle of the country or desert who they it's just funny because they assume that Jeff Taylor and Amy, they're these this rich couple, even though it's not the case. There's even a point in the movie where they're or I think, what is it, Jeff Taylor's wife is well, our finances are pretty much fucked, because I think they put all their money into this 97 Grand Jeep Cherokee, which, obviously at the time it was, a pretty top-of-the-line vehicle, but I think even, 20 odd years later it still holds up. I mean, I'd love to have that kind of car. I just think this is a really fun movie to watch, and it's just not even just the atmosphere and everything, but also just the music, the musical score that goes along with it. It's just very eerie and kind of hypnotic, especially that opening scene when it shows them driving, out in the middle of the desert. I believe it's either somewhere in Utah or Arizona, or it could be Northern California. I know one of the other good things I love about this movie is it's actually very short. I believe the runtime's between an hour and 25 minutes, or an hour and 30 minutes, and it goes by really quick. I love movies where the timeline takes course of over just 24 hours. Because I mean, basically, I think the movie starts off in the middle of the afternoon, and it ends around 6 or 7 in the morning, somewhere in there. But yeah, the first time I ever saw this movie actually was I think when it first came out, because my parents, they would always just rent new releases. And so I remember watching up until the part where Kurt Russell's character, Jeff Taylor, gets, I believe he gets knocked out down by the river by Jack Noseworthy's character. And then, that's when you find out that Billy is just, trying to imitate some total moron, hillbilly type guy. Because then he pulls off his head, and then you just see that he's, just kind of a, normal intelligence somewhat, I guess. I mean, obviously they're not that smart for pulling scams like this, but I think you get the point. And then so it was years later when my friends and I rented it at, Silver Creek Video, where I grew up in Silverton. And, not only were we just, overall intrigued by the movie, but it kind of just turned into, sort of a hidden comedy for us. I remember we used to make fun of Billy's character quite a bit. We used to say that he kind of looked like some guy that would, just maybe butt fuck a donkey or something, or and that Jeff Taylor, his character, kind of looked like the type of guy that would get stressed out on a speedboat and just start yelling at his kids. Like, God damn it, Jordan, get out of the fucking cooler! We've also made a joke over the years where it's like, like once his wife gets kidnapped by J.T. Walsh and the rest of the guys, like we make the whole joke where, it's like, because once Kurt Russell realizes that, she's missing and he's trying to figure out what's going on, like he goes to this place, Bell's Diner, which, by the way, that is a bar I would love to hang out at. I mean, it's, it's got a pool table, it's got music playing, you got, probably obviously good choices of, beer and liquor to choose from. It's just funny, too, because I feel like everyone in that bar, when he goes in there, they're either hungover or they're just coming off of speed or Molly or something, or maybe both, maybe neither. Maybe they're just bored of living in that stupid fucking small town. I guess that'd be the only thing to do, is just go to Bell's Diner and get blacked out drunk every day. But it's just funny because, yeah, like there's that, my friends and I made jokes about like, oh yeah, his wife left him because, J.T. Walsh's character, his outfit, by the way, takes flame-throwing category of the entire movie. I mean, he's got the belt buckle, he's got the denim down, he's got his shirt tucked in. So, I mean, can you blame his wife for going off with him? Because, I mean, look at Jeff Taylor. I mean, he's wearing a fucking polo shirt tucked into khakis. And I'm sorry, that will never hold up. I don't care if you're golfing or whatever. It just doesn't look good at all, by any means. But yeah, after watching the movie so many times over the course of my life, I couldn't help but obviously, look into some trivia about the movie. And I guess to give some backstory to it, apparently Kurt Russell's character is supposed to be like a freelance photographer that used to like work in like military, like war zones, taking pictures in that aspect. And I guess the whole reason for their aspiration for moving to Boston to San Diego is because like he, like, I don't know, like had to deal with like trying to help some dying girl in a war zone, and that just like got to him too much, so they wanted to just start over and take up some normal job somewhere else. It's funny too, because I noticed online there's like a whole Bell's Diner conspiracy where they're trying to say that like the bartender, like guy who runs the restaurant, like that he was in on the whole scheme, but I don't know, I don't think that's a very good plausible theory in my opinion. And then like that the cop's in on it, but which it's funny because I feel like when the cop looks at his picture, like his wife's picture, and he's like, "This is a recent photo," it just seems like he's gonna be like, "Holy shit, your wife's hot, no wonder she got kidnapped. By the way, buddy, you gotta lose that fucking polo shirt, lose the khakis, go shopping. Here's my credit card for sports tomorrow. I need to buy some Carhartt gear like Billy." Because yeah, there's that part where they're looking out over the town of Brackett, I think, when they want him to go into the bank. And he's like, "Billy, give him the jacket. Here, Jeff, you need a jacket that actually looks cool. You can't go walking into a bank dressed like a fucking golf faggot." As time goes on in the movie, he's like driving down the road, and then that's when he sees, Red Bar's truck. And so he's trying to get him to pull over, so he finally manages to do so after they almost crash and run off the road. And then Red Bar's character is just completely playing dumb, just like, "I don't know who you are. I certainly wouldn't recognize someone wearing a stupid polo shirt. I'm the guy with the awesome Jeep. Well, I'm the guy with the awesome denim Dan outfit. I don't know how to tell you this, but your outfit sucks and mine rips." And then anyway, so then they, Kurt Russell's character, he like waves down a cop. The cop searches. He's no help. So that's when Jeff Taylor just starts to take the law into his own hands. And so, eventually he, figures out that obviously, yeah, they're the ones that clearly kidnapped his wife. And what's crazy is he gets to the point where he ends up hopping onto Red Bar's truck. And then like, it shows like that really cool shot of them like driving into the night. And then they finally arrive at Red Bar's house, like way out in the country somewhere. And so, he's hiding out in the barn, and then you could see like there's like a whole collection of license plates and cameras, all these people that they've been kidnapping and robbing over the years. It's just insane how long they must have been getting away with it. And then it's just pretty trippy too, because there's the part where, they take Kathleen Quinlan's character, out of the truck, and she's, tied up, and then she manages to like just catch a glimpse of, you know, like Jeff Taylor's like eyeball, like just looking through that little peek hole. So that's kind of a cool, interesting, funny little shot. And then, you know, once they all leave and go inside the house, that's when Kurt Russell, you know, he ends up getting lucky. He finds like what appears to be like a Glock 9mm, Beretta 9mm or something in one of the trucks. So then, like, stealthily, he sneaks his way into the house. And then what I love about this part is that it shows Red Bar's son, Deke, who kind of looks like a lesbian, or Alyssa Steamer, the pro skater, either one. And yeah, it's just funny. He's playing Doom, and it's supposed to be like, I don't know, like 6 in the morning or 7 in the morning. There's just that part where his wife's like, "It's 6 in the morning, can't they come some other time? Look, we just finished working and we want to get our buzz on, and then we want to soak it up with some pancakes and breakfast, so go get your fucking ass out of here and make some food, bitch." But anyways, yeah, I just think it's kind of funny that, like, even though the sun's up and he's like has video games cranked up on full blast, like they're just like, "Whatever, Deke, just leave us alone. Let us get in the zone in the kitchen and drink beer." Which, yeah, this movie had to have been sponsored by Budweiser, because that's pretty much, I think, all they drink, or it shows people drinking in the movie. But yeah, it's just very satisfying once he, you know, confronts Red Bar in the kitchen. You know, they're drinking the beer, and then he's like, you know, "Give me the key. If you don't give me the key, I'm gonna take all your fucking beer." "Mister, we only have a 6-pack left." And then so after that, yeah, you know, he gets everyone out of the house and into the barn, where he finally, you know, recovers his wife. And, you know, thank God his wife was alive, because when I first saw the movie, I thought for sure she'd be dead, just, you know, sitting in that meat locker and just taped up for, you know, just several hours. I mean, almost the course of 24 hours. And then so it's just great to finally, like, see them get away, and then, you know, fighting back finally at, you know, Red Bar and his cronies. Particularly Billy, when his Pontiac Trans Am blows up. I think that just had to symbolize how awesome that car is. I mean, maybe at the time, you know, like, because those Pontiac Firebirds or Pontiac Trans Ams were like 20 years old, but looking back now, I mean, that's definitely a type of car I would love to have with like an 8-track player or something. And then one last mention, I have to say, this, like, what made me rediscover how much I love this movie is, like, I don't know, it's actually, I mean, it's a great movie to watch in general, but it's actually a really fun movie to just, like, drink to. Like, I think that's what really made me fall back in love with it. I remember, I think it was on, like, Netflix or Amazon Prime maybe, like, 7 or 8 years ago, and so I remember, you know, it was like a long day at school, and then I had to go to work afterwards, so it was a long day, and so I grabbed a 6-pack of Tallboy Budweisers afterwards, and just, you know, not gonna lie, I ended up drinking all of them through the entire movie, but it was so much fun watching it, though. Yeah, I just think if you're looking for a really good, fun, like, atmospheric movie to, like, you know, have a frivolous time with some friends, then, yeah, definitely check out Breakdown. Highly recommend it. Anyways, thanks for watching. Hit the like and subscribe button, and stay tuned till next time, where we will be reviewing Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Thank you.